Hello, my name is Imagery, and I did my visual presentation on protest imagery. Specifically, I focused on company advertisements that are protesting some sort of social issue. I kind of dug into the logistics of why they were protesting a certain issue, as well as what tactics they used to get the viewer's attention. So for this first intro slide, I just have a picture of Martin Luther King's "I Had a Dream" speech in the Civil Rights Movement, where there was a march on Washington for jobs and freedom. So without further ado, let's get started. Issues. Another reason being to advocate for systemic change, to try to make a difference by having a voice and coming together, can show whoever's in power that there needs to be some sort of change to occur, or that at least their voice is heard, to stand up for personal beliefs, and to identify with a certain group. So there's been an increase in corporations becoming more socially active or protesting some sort of social issue to brand their image or what they value as a company. Why is this? One reason being social media and the internet have made it cheaper and easier for consumers to join the conversation. So whatever the company is advertising, the consumers or those people who see what they're advertising can add to the conversation in the sense that, oh, I like this product, I don't like this product, I agree with what you're saying, I don't agree with what you're saying. And this positive and negative commentary is benefiting the company regardless, because when some sort of consumer responds on the internet or social media about what they are advertising, it's exposure, and that is going to just get their name out there more as a company and show other consumers what they value or what they're advertising for. Another reason is that there's been a shift in millennials being highly attuned to a company's social value proposition, which is what the company stands for, and a promise of providing economic value to the collective community. Before getting into the advertisements that I chose, I'd like to just kind of review advertising rhetoric techniques that the companies use within their advertisements. The first being ethos, which call upon ethics or values of the speaker. The second being pathos, which elicit emotions in the audience. And the third being logos, which put logic into play by using evidence and facts. So good persuasive advertising uses a combination of all three of these techniques, but there are definitely some advertisements that weigh more on one tactic than the other, so I'm going to kind of dig into those with the following slides. So this advertisement was produced by Nike, and it was kind of the advertisement that sparked this whole presentation idea for me. Kind of the backstory to it: this man in the back of the image was a professional football player who started kneeling during the national anthem of football games because he was trying to peacefully protest racial discrimination and police brutality that is occurring in the United States. And people thought and think that he's being disrespectful by doing that. So Nike took advantage of this opportunity to endorse him and put him on the cover of one of their advertisements, which reads, "Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything," because he was kicked out of the NFL and lost his career as a professional athlete and now is a political activist. And this advertisement uses, in my opinion, all of the advertising techniques that I talked about earlier. Logic in the sense that there are racial discrimination issues and police brutality that is occurring in the United States, and there needs to be some sort of change that occurs for the better, for these issues to be resolved. It also uses pathos because there are a lot of emotions that have been riled up in fans, disagreeing with what he's doing, saying that he's being disrespectful. This also plays into the ethos, the ethics that they believe in, respecting the flag and our country and kind of the freedom we have, and saying that he's being disrespectful, but he's trying to peacefully protest the other issues that are occurring. So there's that value or ethics that come into view when you see this advertisement, and there are a lot of social media and internet reaction to this advertisement. People started burning all of their Nike apparel and kind of saying that he should be kicked out of the NFL, which he did end up being. But this advertisement ended up making Nike a lot of money by exposing his face. So here we have an advertisement produced by the Worldwide Fund for Nature, which is an international non-governmental organization that works in the fields of wilderness preservation as well as the reduction of human impact on the environment. They promote sustainable resources as well as trying to educate on climate change. And this advertisement reads, "Stop climate change before it changes you." And it's got this frog person that has a scared look on his face, and it's got like dark shading, dark coloring in the background, which overall tries to elicit a fear component to it, which is that pathos or emotional advertisement tactic. It's also using logos, which is that logical idea that climate change could affect humans as a species, and if they don't do anything like use sustainable resources, may lose their species as a whole. So this ad was produced by UN Women, which is the United Nations entity dedicated to gender equality and the empowerment of women. And this ad was called The Autocomplete Truth. It was launched worldwide to reveal that sexism still exists and is a major issue in today's society. So it portrayed different women from various cultural backgrounds, and they had actual Google searches covering their mouths, depicting that this is a global issue. Most people are familiar with Google around the world, and that made it very relatable, but also shocking or scary because these issues are obviously typed into Google and come up as a autocomplete answer, which shows that this is an issue that still is present within society and within the world. So it kind of brings to life those emotions of shock and fear within the viewer, and viewers kind of faced with the decision to support or deny the cause of gender equality. They're also faced with like an ethical issue of this gender equality, and deciding or not deciding to act on this cause. So overall, this was a very successful ad and was globally spread and helped to support this cause. So this last ad that I looked into was created by Tom's, which was originally a shoe company. And the first ad on top reads 1 for 1, which is a very positive message. You can see that the kids are very happy holding a pair of shoes. This advertisement is promoting this 1 for 1 idea where if you buy a pair of shoes from Tom's, they will give a pair of shoes to someone that is in need in an underprivileged country. And they've expanded this idea to buying glasses. If you buy a pair of glasses from Tom's, they will give vision correction to someone in need. Or if you buy coffee from Tom's, they will provide 1 week of water for one person in need. So this idea of morality as marketing. So this coffee from Tom's, they will provide 1 week of water for one person in need. So this idea of morality as marketing is seen, and this is a ethos marketing technique where you feel like you're making a difference. You value what you're wearing because you know that you made a difference in someone else's life. You can also see the advertisement underneath that says "End Gun Violence Together," and it's this new brand direction where they're protesting gun violence within the United States, and they're trying to educate people about gun violence as well as pass universal background checks, which also ties into their brand of keeping people safe not only around the world but within the United States. So that concludes my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.